Welcome to the, I guess we'll say, getting old and healthy supplemental material, supplemental content, something extra. You ever notice how like all these YouTubers, they always have like a drink, or they don't quite know what to do with their hands, so they're like, is that just me? Yeah. I mean, this is a good look for me. Hopefully you can see all the white hair. Anyway, so what is this? I mean, don't only like young kids make these things? Actually, no. I follow several older like video bloggers, vloggers, people that have been on the platform for a long time. And I mean, it kind of makes sense. There's a need for like analysis of a lot of topics. There's a lot to know about. So even what like the older vlog crowd and the younger vlog crowd are discovering is like video essays. So I guess you could consider this like a video essay, but it's a little more laid back because like it's associated to the podcast and the whole like getting old and healthy thing. So and I guess I should say that's like the first bit of good news is that we're going to come back. We're going to like do the podcast again. Yeah. So it's been like maybe 2 years since we've last recorded a podcast or put out a podcast. I think we have a couple that are recorded but like never edited because like we just got too busy. Life took over. And so I was talking to Denisio and telling him about a school project that I was doing that like was a creative project, a group project, but like a creative endeavor. And I suppose I could link that like somewhere if you want to see it. It's nothing special. It got me thinking like that was fun. It was like a little nerve-wracking, like filming everything and coordinating schedules with everybody and dealing with like really poor audio, which this is probably still going to have really poor audio just because I haven't taken the time to get good audio equipment up. I'm more trying to get the video out, the content out, rather than worry about audio right now. But I mean, don't worry for the podcast. We're definitely going to record on good gear. So, but yeah, there was a lot of stress involved with doing like a creative endeavor, and a lot of like behind the scenes, like cataloging of stuff and editing and all that stuff. But like it reminded me that I like doing that type of work. I like filming, I like recording, I like editing. I mean, I'm like on a 4-year-old Mac Mini, 5-year-old Mac Mini now with only 8 gigs of RAM. So like editing this is going to be a pain in the butt, but I still like doing it. I still like have fun being creative and putting those things together. I guess point is that I like creative endeavors. I like having obviously guitar and bass here. I like playing and like not in the shot here is my drum set sitting right next to me. But yeah, I like creative endeavors. I like creating like art. I like creating the podcast, and I thought I'd give this a try too, see how this goes for me. And then the other thing is like maybe things that we don't get into specifically on the podcast, like in a lot of depth. Like if we got time, we can shoot one of these little things and maybe cover it in a little more depth. Like for instance, I am like at 39 years old going to university. Like I'm a transfer student to Fresno State now, and I've got like 2, maybe 3 years, depending on like what classes I add and when I can get them and when I can work them around my family schedule. But yeah, like I'm an older student back in school going to like jumpstart, career 2.0. And I mean, maybe people want to hear about that. Like, why did I do it? Why, what challenges are there with regards to like scheduling around family? What challenges are there with regards to like being the old guy in class? That seems to be like my biggest anxiety right now, is just like being the old guy in class. So like I don't just to get into that a little bit more, I don't go out and party. I've been sober for like, next year is going to be like 3 years. So I don't go out and party. I don't like, and even if I did, it'd be like awkward for some like near 40-year-old to be partying with like 20-year-olds. It's just like, that's not my scene. But I know that's what's going on around the kids around me. So like my biggest anxiety is just like, I'm showing up and I'm the power nerd in class, which is good for me because like I've gotten straight A's since like 2016. So like I've got an insane GPA right now, but I know it's because like I've eliminated all the distractions to the best of my ability. I've eliminated, like I always do my homework when my kids are napping, or now they're in preschool. So I do my homework when my kids are in preschool, or if I need to, I can stay up really late at night, or wake up really early in the morning. So, you know, there's hours in the day to do that, but definitely when I show up to class and everybody's asking like, are you ready for the test? I can very confidently say, fuck yeah, I am. Like I just spent like the last 3 hours studying for this test. Plus I did the homework as soon as it came out. So yeah, I'm a little bit of the power nerd like in class. And it feels weird to like relate to the kids that are like, oh man, I was so wasted and like I didn't have time to study and like I just got off of 2 exams and like I can't concentrate on this class now. And I mean, I get that. I'm lucky enough that I'm so far fortunate that I haven't had a bunch of exams stacked on top of each other, though I know that day is coming because it's not like these teachers coordinate with each other. Group project here or big paper here. That's been my experience actually, is like just they all have their assignments due all at the same time. But I mean, that's the experience of going to college too, so whatever. I guess the other thing I could talk about is the boys, the twins, and June, and kind of the boys are in preschool. Like the last year of my life with them was super challenging, not only because of school. Like we did our best to work school around. We hired like a babysitter from the COS Child Development Center. She's a child development graduate and she had worked in a preschool before. So we like hired her privately to come into the house and be with the kids and just watch them whenever I had like daytime classes, which we're probably going to have to do that again because like you can only find so many night classes. But we also had Tulare County Early Intervention, Tulare County Office of Early Education or Educational Office, or I don't remember the name of this agency, but like we qualified for early intervention for the kids because they weren't speaking a lot at their second birthday. And so for like all of year 2 to 3, we had a weekly care worker come in and like just kind of sit with us and play with us and like work on basic motor skills and work on like talking and working on ways to develop vocabulary and working on ways to develop like play habits. And that was a worthwhile experience, but really stressful because it's somebody in your home. It's somebody that is like giving you good advice and working with your kids in a positive way, but you can't help but get the feeling that you're not doing well, like always. And one of the things they did was like at the end of every session kind of asked like, what are your concerns? And I would express them as they were learning how to speak and as they were like learning how to play and learning how to, you know, do things. And it was always like a tip on how to make that better. And so it became this process of like, they would come over and tell me what I was doing wrong as a parent at the end of it. So I never felt like I was like living up to the standard, even though like we had regular meetings and they would ask skills and I'd be able to list off, oh yeah, they know this many words and they know how to ask for things and they know how to do this and that. And like they'd show me the list and they'd show me the report, and it's not like they were too terribly behind. It was just that the fact that they were behind. It's putting a measurable thing on something that is traditionally pretty nebulous, parenting. I've always been an easygoing parent, and that whole year changed that. I was just filled with like anxiety over like not doing enough. I don't know. It was a very tough experience. And I'm kind of glad we're out of that now. Only now we're in preschool, and so there's a new set of like standards, a new set of metrics that these kids have to measure up to, which is fine. My big concern is that they talk well now. And they play well, but I want them to start stop relying on each other so much and start moving away and being like, this is my friend and this is my friend. And I know that's going to be like 30 freaking kids at my house when we have birthday parties, but like that's what they need. They need to know that they're like two separate people. Wow, that went like kind of all over the place. Okay, well, so yeah, that's the idea behind this whole thing, is that I want to create some supplementary content. I kind of want to try my hand at this whole vlogging thing. I hope this isn't too weird. I got this stupid like fill light. It's my brother's fill light from when he had his old Sony NX camera. I just kept it, and it's very bright. It's LED, and it's like, it's making me not want to look over there, and I'm probably doing it all wrong. There's probably shadows all over here. I don't even know. So I probably look terrible for this first vlog. But suffice it to say, this is just to say, hey, Old and Healthy is coming back. Oh, actually, maybe I should mention some of that stuff. So yeah, we're coming back because we are both like insanely busy. Denicio works in Fresno, and he has the new baby, less than a year old at this point, getting close to a year old. But because he has that going on in his life, and because I have the kids and I have school and Melissa's job and Jim's gymnastics and all that good stuff, that like our release schedule is probably not going to be the best. I am personally shooting for maybe twice a month, and we'll record like an hour, maybe a little over an hour. So we'll give a lot of talking, and we'll go through a lot of things. But don't expect regularity. So yeah, but I'm just really excited to get back to like a creative project, something that we can shoot the shit over, talk about getting old, talk about having these kids, talking about the cycle of life, like circling around, talk about the big major things that are going on in life, and the small things too. Who cares? So yeah, this is my ugly face, and I guess I'll see you, or maybe you'll hear from me on the podcast, or maybe you'll see another video from me. Maybe I'll do this more regularly. I don't know. But hopefully I can get Denicio to do this too. Maybe. I don't know. All right. Peace.